the more they'll trust you. They'll give you more auto loans, stuff like that. Basic, simple stuff. Is leverage. So use credit to your advantage. Use it to leverage into businesses, and then use the return that you get from the business and pay the credit cards off. It's like a little cycle. So it's a tool to make money without having money. So if you have
it needs to be addressed, okay? So speaking of that, before I even start, let me let you guys know I do offer a $20 consultation, 20, okay, 20. And basically, I'm going to go over your credit, and we're going to see why you...
You can actually become a member with our YouTube membership, and we can answer all of your credit questions every time we go live. And we also have our member-only lives as well. To learn more about this, go ahead and click the link down below in the description.
Stop fucking lying.
What's up, little bros? Just in case you missed it, our friend with the blue hoodie, we have a lot of new subscribers. This is that same guy.
And the thing about the rental car game, y'all, you do not have to own a single car. But if you're a car lover, you don't really care about owning a car. You just want to be around them, driving them, right? We do that completely for free. Drive these cars, rent these cars, make money off of these cars, you know, do work. We ain't got to be stuck in no job. All right. We ain't got to be stuck in no job.
Back then, he's trying to tell you about credit cards, and then he moved on to his new scam, telling you how to get cars with no money down, how to build businesses with no money down. Oh no, a business has nothing to do with being profitable and providing for your family. It has nothing to do with that. You could start businesses and pay back banks with all the profits you're going to make. What happens if you don't make any profits? And what happens when you can't pay the banks back? This is why I'm here, not to scam you. You don't got to give me $20, you ain't give me any money. Just spread the video, give me a thumbs up, think about subscribing. As you see, they work in tandems. First, people give you advice on how to go buy stuff without credit. People selling CPNs, and now you got people on YouTube and social media trying to tell you how to repair your credit. I'm going to teach you how to build credit and repair credit absolutely free without the possibility of going to prison. Like I said, VPB Money Man, think about subscribing, joining the team. If you do not have credit, and we're going to cover everything. If you're trying to build credit, if you're falling behind and paying back the banks, and if you're already delinquent. Because let's keep it 100. You are not going to any bank getting a loan for a business without collateral. Let me ask you a question. Would you give an absolute stranger 25 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand without any type of background check on them? Credit companies work together. They work and they give out your credit report. This is why your credit report is linked to your social security number, and your credit report is linked to an EIN number too, because if your business is failing, you can no longer take out any more money in that business because it's linked to that EIN number and it's linked to your social security number. So let's begin. If you're trying to establish credit, you're young. You're trying to establish credit. I grew up like you. My parents did not tell me about credit. I never fell delinquent, but I got into real serious credit card debt. It's easy to get in credit card debt. You can start charging furniture, and then before you know it, it's Chick-fil-A, then it's Taco Bell. Before you know it, you owe $5 grand, and you can never get this monkey off your back. Here's what I would do to establish credit first. Start small. Start with a gas credit card, maybe an electronics credit card, an electronics store, or Capital One. Capital One is really good because they give out entry-level credit cards with like $200 minimums. Same thing with $200 limit, like a maximum limit. Same thing with gas cards and a lot of these electronic stores. But don't go charge a flat screen. Don't do that. Do small stuff. Earphones, phone chargers, maybe work your way up to a phone and then pay it off in full. People like to say you can't build credit if you don't let the interest rates hit you at least once or twice. No, as long as you pay back the money, you're building excellent credit. The banks and the lenders want their money back on time. A lot of people get wrapped up in this 12-month 0% interest, and then they start charging, and then what happens is all that interest gets tacked back on eventually if you don't pay that whole bill. Start small. You're trying to establish credit. You're trying to get there slowly. When you get there slowly and you build wealth slowly and you do things legally, you never got to worry about anybody kicking in your front door because you did something scammy. That's how you do it. Store credit cards, entry-level credit cards, gas cards, pay them off in full. Keep that going for like 6 months, and then apply for your Visas, your MasterCards, your Amex. But work your way up. Take your time. Make sure you're responsible to pay back $200 or $500, because if you can't pay back $500 at the end of the month, you're not going to be able to pay back a $2,000 credit card limit that you charged up. That's the first thing I would do. If you're falling behind on your credit card payments, a lot of people will say, start with the highest interest rate. That's not what I did. I started with the smallest credit card balance because psychologically, it feels amazing when you start to knock out these credit cards. So say you got 3, 4, 5, hell, 10. What I would do is start with the smallest balance. Knock that one out. But while you're knocking out the smaller balances, pay the minimums on all the other ones, because you don't want to go into default and have, and then, they sell your debt to these all these credit collectors, because once they sell it to credit collectors, you're already delinquent, and we're going to get onto that in a minute. Pay the minimums on the other credit cards and knock off the smaller balances. And as you knock them out, cut them up. Cut them up so you don't fall prey to going back into credit card debt. Cut them up. I'm serious. Cut them up, melt them, get rid of them, throw them in a fire pit, throw them in the ocean, get rid of them. Get rid of them. And you will see psychologically you're making headway. Once you get 1, then 2, then 3, and then you start really attacking the higher balances. And once that's done, cut your credit cards up. I have to tell you that you're not ready to be disciplined enough to have credit cards. You got to cut them up. You got to live off of cash and debit cards. That's the only thing I could tell you. Maybe in 5-10 years, you'll be able to be disciplined. It took me like 8 years after paying off credit cards to really understand that I only have one credit card and I only use it for certain things, travel abroad. And I don't use it. I don't use it for food. I don't use it to buy luxuries. I don't do anything like that, even though a vacation abroad is kind of luxury. So I don't even know why I said that. But yeah, I do that because I don't want to get scammed in another language and can't get my money back. When you do have a credit card and you book things overseas, you can get your money back instantly. There's no foreign transaction fees with some of these credit cards. This is why I do it when I book hotels abroad. The last and least, it's too late. You're already in collections. You're already delinquent. This is where people get desperate and they start doing those CPN scams. Don't do that. You're never going to be able to build great credit or get more credit as long as you owe banks money. I would contact whoever you owe the money to. If it's the banks, contact them. Say, listen, I don't got 10 grand. I could pay you 5. A lot of times the banks, before they give it to collections, they'll work with you. They'll say, all right, we're going to not issue you any more credit. Your credit is done, but you owe us 5 grand. Pay off the 5 grand, and now it's done. You give it a couple years, and you'll be able to start back with step 1 that I was talking about, building credit back slowly. The other thing is, when the collections people are calling, you got to pick up the phone for them. Pick up the phone and try to make the same deal. Say, listen, I can't pay you 5 grand. I got 2. A lot of these credit card collections and credit card companies, they'll let you pay $50 a month until the money is paid off. My cousin was paying like $25 on a $4,000 bill that he owed them. He was paying like $25 forever. And then when he got his tax return, he would throw some money on that. And then now he's reestablishing his credit. That's how you do it. Contact him. I don't have this amount, but I can give you this amount. Can you put me on a payment program? Once you get rid of all that, then you can think about starting a business. You could think about rebuilding your credit. You're not going to be able, I'm sorry to say this, and people don't want to hear this, there's no way you're going to have a profitable business in the black and making green if your if your personal life is still in the red. It's just not going to happen. You're going to run your business the same way you ran your personal life. You're going to run it into the ground, and then you're going to be screwed. So this was a free alternative. You don't got to pay me anything. Just think about subscribing, liking, joining the channel, the membership when you are debt free, and when you get your credit card bills and your car bills in order, then you could think about joining the channel. No regrets. Hope this video helps. Get it.